Said I'd be back with another video, and this time I'm going to do another map tutorial video because I'm working on a map for my RPG. So I thought I would just try and do a few bits while I'm here. I have nothing kind of planned beyond the concept that I want to show about drawing trees, or my approach to drawing trees for maps. So I have nothing planned, and I have no idea how it's going to turn out. And yeah, so let's look at drawing some trees, and let's look at drawing some different ways of drawing trees. So yeah, okay. I think we'll go to the pencil tool here, and I'm not too bothered about color at the moment, but I'll just use this kind of garish green color. You know, if like you were doing palm trees, you could do something like this. That's literally just take your pencil tool, drag it, give it a little point at the end, make this kind of slightly teardrop shape, and I can just duplicate that by holding Option on my Mac. I don't know if you're using a PC, so I'm not 100% sure that what that would be. So now we have 4 little leaves, and we could literally do something like this for our palm tree, perhaps, and then I could do the same thing again, but make it smaller. I mean, how detailed you want to make these things is really kind of up to you. And then we'll flip it by using this icon up here. And I'm not trying to make everything too symmetrical, or else it would look a bit odd. But I will try and kind of mirror the... Let's have a look. Something like this. So there we have a basic palm tree. And I can, if I wanted to bring this all together, I could. I'll just keep one out there. So we have our basic palm tree like this. Now it kind of depends on how you're going to do your, how you're going to color your map, etc. But we'll think about that in a moment. Right. So at the moment we just have our effectively a vector tree. So let's try that. We'll just try and do some kind of a trunk here, again using the pencil tool. I'm just going to bring it right up over here, and I'm going to join and I'm going to put it to the back of the stage by using this icon up here, move to back, and I'm going to recolor it. Let's get some kind of a brown color. It's a bit more, yeah. Okay, so that's something for the moment, and we can change the shape here if we wanted to. Move the handles about. This is a very kind of strong point here, which is annoying me. So I could either get the knife tool by using the K command, shortcut, and I could just cut that off like that. And then I could come in and just do that, so we have a slightly better. Another way we could do that is use the corner tool. So we select the element and we hit C, and you can see that the icon gives us a little semicircle there, and then we can just drag that and we can remove it that way. And this, I'm just going to remove that node. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger and this a little bit thinner, just like a kind of a real palm tree, if you will. Yeah, so remember also we want the palm tree to come from the middle of because that's the way it would do. Got a bit of a tangent here, which I don't like, so I'm just going to move it slightly just to keep it away from that point. And there is our basic palm tree. If that was too big, we could, we can just make it a bit smaller. We're getting, yeah, and So there's our miniature icon. But that may not really be suitable for a map. So we could either probably do some, we'd need some kind of outline on it. So I could do this. There's various ways of doing outlines. I could kind of do this. I'm just copying stuff here, just for the moment, so don't mind me. I can kind of do this. Sorry, I'll just concentrate on this, and then we could go over to the stroke here, and we could give it a stroke. And I want to look at the stroke properties in this tab here. And we could do this, and I could also get rid of the green color by that little white with the red stripe icon. That's gone. So now we have our a black outline. Now I don't really like that outline because it looks very procedural. What I would probably do, but is something like this. I'd probably take my pen tool and I'll just do this for now, and I would, oops, I'm gonna get rid of the stroke this time and just leave. And I would probably do this for an outline. As you can see, I've kind of messed it up there, but that's not a problem because we'll just do something rough for the moment. Now, if I want to be able to see what's below, I'm just going to join these up for a sec. I can just do this. I can do that, and I can kind of fix the, whoops, I can fix the line here slightly. But you can see it gives a much more kind of natural living line, if you will. And then we go back to our line, our pencil tool, and we just do the same thing. Now I could use the pen tool, but that would give me, again, it would kind of, by using the pencil tool, oops, I get a nice kind of living line. Now don't worry if you, as you can see, I've messed it up there. So first things first, I'm going to join these two separate pencil thingamybobs. Now they're one, as you can see. And I'm going to fix the dreadful line I did here. And remember, you can always add an extra point to something if you need to by just double clicking. You can remove points and just select and hit delete. And it doesn't matter if it's not too we're not trying to get something perfect because we want that kind of organic look to it. So let's so we have this on 39% opacity, so I'll bang it up to 100. Then I'm going to select this and I'm going to go to move to back. So now we have our little, and it just looks a lot nicer than this. Let's just whack that in here. That looks ganky. Just looks a lot nicer. You know, and you might say, well, the black is a bit much, so I could select the black and I could kind of just make it a kind of a darker green. Could also add some details, again using the line tool, just by doing something like simple like this, following the, you know, the lines of a leaf, you know, the middle part of a leaf, and you could just do that, for example. Probably a bit dark, so maybe something like this. There's one there as well, and I can just simply kind of copy those, and I can turn the handles around, etc., to make them just to make them more suitable for the angle or whatever. Something like that. So now you have a little bit of, you know, of a giving the plant some detail. But really, if you want, what would look even better than that would be to do something like this, and that would be to actually draw out the kind of roughly the plant kind of leaf outline, so you're kind of getting a more detail. But I mean, this may be too even detailed for your map, because remember, these trees are going to be tiny, you know, well, you know, depending on what, you know, what style you're after. So yeah, it could be far too small. So now we have kind of, but I think these are just far too prominent now. So I'm just gonna, something like, just gives it a bit of detail. Bring that down a bit. Might even darken these. Again, this really depends on what your style. You know, that might be a bit better. And then I think it would be better if we split them out like this, like more living lines. Yeah. So they shouldn't really taper in, you know, when they're, for this, you know, they would actually be thicker at the base, and as they go in, yeah, that looks a lot better. Look, there's an extra point there I don't want. Oh, and him as well. Get out now. So there we have our, and of course you could even bring in a little bit of shading in there, just to, you know, for your, something like that. Right, so you could also probably do something similar for the palm tree. The base of the palm tree. See what I'm gonna do. I was wondering why it's okay. If you look up here, you see the length of the rope, the stabilizer. I'm gonna bring that right up to, let's say, bring it up to, we'll try 89, and I'm going to just switch this because I'm using my mouse, but I'm also using my thumb. I have a trackball, so I tend to like doing things going horizontally. But as you can see, you can get a very smooth line if you do that. Now I could remove the opacity so I could see it a little bit better, but I'm pretty sure I know what's going on, and we'll just join it up and bring it to the back. And we will copy this, bring it down. Oops. And you have your little palm tree. Now, look, to me it looks a bit thick all of a sudden, so I'm just going to bring that in a bit. Do the same for this. You can tweak the handles as well if you need, if you think any part is too thick or thin. It's a little bit heavy down here. Something like that, maybe. No, that's fine for the moment. Bring both of these, behind our palm tree. Yeah, you probably, again, you would have, then we'll take back to our line tool and we'll draw this. Sorry, I'll make it a different color so you'll see what I'm doing here. So what I'm doing here is, sorry, I want to just get a color that's far away from the actual colors that are on the. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to draw another with the pencil tool, and this is just a bit of shadow. And I only really need to be careful up till under the the leaf, because that is going to be hidden, this kind of janky bit here. So I'll copy the color, and up here in the darkness I'll bring it down, and then I will place it, and then you have a little bit of shading there. Also though, one thing, I'm kind of going off, and it's not really the direction I wanted to go, believe it or not, because I kind of wanted to show you, this has kind of turned into a miniature colored icon, which is not really what I wanted to. But like, and for detail, you could simply add just a few kind of half smiles, if you will. Again, using, you know, make sure it's kind of critical that it kind of follows the tree trunk's bow, as that would, you know, that would be the realistic way the line would go around the tree. You have to do one up there. Oops. Yeah, you sometimes have to make sure that if you come in and you come round, that you have to actually do another point here to do that, so it doesn't do what it did, and that was kind of disappear, kind of just become slim all of a sudden. Yeah, so there's that. So we'll take this and we'll move it here, and let's think about this for a sec. Let's say, for example, this is color, but we may not want a color one. So if we wanted black and white, or more of a matte color, you'd be talking, let's say we were going to do a conventional map color, it would be something like this, wouldn't it? It'd be that kind of near sepia tone. So something like this. Another good tip, if you wanted to color lots of stuff, just select the color you want to change. If you wanted to change all these kind of leaf bits, I can select this, go select same fill color, boop. That will actually color, I forgot, sorry, this will color that as well, so I'm not going to do that. But if I wanted to do that, I would select the color I want, and then I would bring it down, so it'd be something like that. But as you can see, it's altered that up here, so I'm going to not do that. So I'm going to take these, select the base color, and then come up to lightness, and bring it down to dark. Same here, but I'm just going to simply select this. Oops, there we go. Again, I'm going to color this as well. It'll be something, you probably lose the shading, unless, so now you'd have your, let's say, let's get rid of him. Sorry, could be a woman or her, and let's just give ourselves a kind of a map color to work with. What's going on? Boom. And I'm going to just lock that. That might be a bit, okay. Oops. I'll lock that here. Is it locked? Yes. And now we can move our piece onto it. Yeah, I mean, better. Okay, we can do it here actually. I'm going to select. I'm just going to go select that color because I'm going to change it. Select same fill color, and I'm just going to do that. So now we have all the same. I think I might get rid of these. Because I don't think we need that detail for our map. Because remember, like these would be kind of small assets like that on a screen. This is interesting here. This black lump has developed, and that is because if we examine this, where is it? Yeah, if we examine this, you can see that we still have from earlier on when we were drawing the piece, we used the circle. or sorry, the corner tool, which is fine. But as you saw, if we alter it, it doesn't. The corner gets altered as well. It effectively doesn't scale relatively, or relative, which is highly annoying. And I'm not sure if there's a way you can. I don't think there is. But the easy way around that is you just simply select the piece, convert to curves. Boom. Now, if we want to make this smaller, we just go, and it does not. You can see, it's aligned perfectly because we've removed that. Yeah, so let's select same fill color, and we're going to make that darker because they tend to be darker on maps. So you'd have something like that maybe. You could have if you wanted to put your shadow in, you could, but what you often see in kind of fantasy maps is some kind of coloring on these. So you might have, now you don't have to do this, you might have say half in a slightly lighter shade. So how would we do that? Well, we could just do this and follow along. Now I'm doing this really quick, and we could select that, bang, make that, and just go, and use this for our shape. But we could also do it this way. It might be a bit quicker. We select the shape. I'm going to go to the knife tool, and I'm just going to kind of knife out where I think the shading, sorry, the highlight would be on that side. And it would be something like that. So now we have our highlighted side. So that is kind of a quick way that you could do your, I don't know, palm trees. We'd be talking about a desert. So they're kind of quick and dirty ways to do your palm trees. You can change the size of them as well. I move them. Make sure that they're in the kind of right. You don't want them like this one here sticking out behind that. It would look more if it was smaller. It would be fine. That's a bit too small, but you kind of get the idea. You can even kind of put them in here behind, so you get that nice kind of, it fills out the trunks, and we could literally do that again. I mean, now I'm being a bit cheap and nasty doing that, but I mean, you could put in a nice arrangement like I did with the kind of mountains, or you could hand draw all this. But the beauty about doing it like this is that you can always reuse these in any configuration. So you could have your thing there, and you could start maybe drawing a pool here, and that could be, okay, it's a bit too circular, but that could be an oasis or so, an oasis. I do it properly, but there's your oasis now. So there's some cheap and nasty palm trees, if you want to do it quick. But remember, it doesn't really matter because these are going to be so small on a map. And lastly, if you wanted to make them a little bit more, I suppose, organic or looking, you could pick certain sides and maybe make the lines even thicker. That would kind of give it even more shading, especially on the kind of shaded, or the side that isn't in highlight. That would add, oops, that might be it. Yeah, that might add, it adds more weight to the, something like that, compared to, the other. There's a bit of a tangent here which I'm not too happy about. I might even bring that down further. But anyway, it's just giving it living lines, and of course you could do the same here on the side that's also a bit dark. That would be also darker. So you'd kind of get that. Anyway, that's a quick palm tree tutorial. In the next one, we'll try something maybe more conventional. Well, thanks for watching. Take care.